Hey, this is Michael Bourgeois with Next Level Contractor, and today we're sitting with Dan Gardner, one of the principals of Compass Solar Energy, Pensacola, Florida-based contracting company that specializes in solar PV, solar water heating, and solar pool heaters. Thanks for joining us today, Dan.
Glad to be here.
Compass Solar Energy has been in business for over 20 years, and they're definitely the authority in my book on what it takes to complete solar installations and have a solar contracting business. So we're trying to help new contractors just getting licensed to having a business that they can rely on to support their crew's family, support their own family, to have some success, take good care of customers. How long have you been a contractor?
I got my license, I believe, in 2004.
Here's a loaded question for you. What's your most memorable or series of most memorable mistakes?
All right. Well, I guess you got to look at from the beginning and probably not fully understanding the solar market and the politics that are involved and the seasonal ups and downs of certain trades.
So really, regardless, you're going to be busy starting a contracting company, whether you have the funds or not. How do you stay organized?
Either you're going to look at a software, a CRM, that can do this for you, that you can put it in their calendar and stuff, but you need to put a process together in the very beginning of, okay, I've got to keep track of customers. I've got to keep track of where I've been. I got to be able to know what products I have to buy. I've got my vendors that I've got to get my product from. You got to find a way that you can organize that to where it's right in front of you and you can put your fingertips on it.
A new contractor just starting out that doesn't have the funding that you're talking about could hit the ground running is possibly consider taking on a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any suggestions about that, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you talk with any of the three of us, we're all going to tell you that one is all three of you. One need to know your specific personalities, but then you need to know their personalities and their traits and who's going to be doing what.
This episode of the Next Level Contractor is sponsored by One Insurance Solutions, the go-to insurance agency dedicated to helping contractors secure affordable coverage. Specializing in general liability, workers' compensation, and even life insurance, they understand the unique needs of contractors. As a sister company to One Exam Prep, you can trust them to support you every step of the way. Get a free, no-obligation quote today at www.oneinsurancesolutions.com or call 1-877-700-0243.
Let me ask you this, Dan. If you had to start again tomorrow, what would you do different? What would you do the same?
I would start out with a corporation to begin with. I wouldn't try to do it rolling out of my house.
So at what point would you look to hire your first full-time employee?
I would make sure that I'm running 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I can build out and I'm a week behind. Then it's time. I know I've got enough to bring somebody on, train them, and keep them busy. I'm in a position where I've got some money, so I may take a pay cut. I may find I'm paying these people more than what I'm paying myself. But eventually, as I get more of them in board, my pay goes up because it's an increment of the revenue they're bringing in. First thing I'm going to get is probably somebody to answer the calls. Hey, I need you to take the calls. I'm out on the jobs trying to do things, but the phone's blowing up, customers calling. I think the first person you're looking for is that customer service individual who can take some of the administrative stuff off of you. And that's where it's going to make sense to have a good CRM at that point that you're training them on.
How quickly would you suggest outsourcing the bookkeeping and accounting services? Where you're not doing that yourself?
No, the sooner the better.
The sooner the better?
That's what I'd say, the sooner the better. Yeah, because there's so much that goes into the tax. That's why if I can do it early on and find somebody who does, can handle some part-time bookkeeping, I'd go ahead and get them in ASAP.
As early as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts you could leave with with a brand new contractor that's just starting out? Any advice you would give?
If you've got the dream and you've got the vision, you can make it happen. And do not think that when that first check comes in, you get to pay yourself a portion of that. You don't. It all goes back into the corporation. You need to live off whatever you have back here until you see that you're building, because there's going to be a dip that comes that you're not going to anticipate. You may see things boom, hey, things are looking great. Got to put some reserves in there. Look at what you're spending on the business. Just always be stashing before you pay yourself. If I don't make the company healthy, I can't survive, right? Because that's where it's coming from.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for giving us the time here today.
Yeah, no,
you're a wealth of knowledge and information and experience. I know you got to get going, and I really appreciate the time. Thank you, Dan.